Well, initially I thought I was going to be a medical doctor, and then it all sort of changed. I kind of kept my options open when I did my A levels, and I did all the sciences and maths. And I think up to GCSE level, I thought I'd go into medicine. Then it's sort of changed to medical physics. Then I thought physics, and actually I realized that I really, really loved physics throughout my life, and wondered why I was thinking about medicine in the first place. And then when I was filling in my UCAS forms during my A levels, I thought, no, that this is what I should be doing. I should be doing physics. I visited universities and I saw the labs, and I knew that was for me. I think there was always a part of me that wanted to be an astronaut or a space scientist. I know that I realize that now because of all the books that I've asked my parents to buy me when I was a child. There were lots of books on astronomy, and I think it was while I was doing my GCSEs and A levels that I really started to think about it more seriously, when we had to sort of choose the subjects, and that's probably when I had the solid sort of idea of going into physics and astronomy. I've always had encouragement throughout with everything that I did, from my dad especially, who was very sort of education driven. I had a lot of encouragement from my teachers. And when I started at university, we had lots of encouragement from our tutors, and so I think it was always an interest that I had, and I was lucky enough that I've met people who made it possible for me to take the next step. To me, it seems like it covers everything, because stars are born in clouds of gas and dust, and our sun was born in a cloud of dust and gas like it, and we have our solar system, and then everything that's on the earth is because of the chemicals that were made in the stars. So I think to me that seemed the obvious choice, because it seems to be the beginning of everything. I kept my options open because I didn't know where I was going to go exactly. So every step of the way, I thought about the route that would give me the maximum options. So in taking up physics, I knew that it would open up doors towards space science, towards astronomy, towards various other subjects. And if for some reason I didn't carry on in science, I could still use and apply the skills elsewhere. I think for me it was always science. I was the geek. I always went for the science subjects. So it was never a choice, because it's always what I wanted to do. I went to University College London and I studied physics. Physics MSci, I think, which is a 4-year degree, which was quite a new thing at the time. And it was great. I loved it. Being at university reinforced my love of science. And then the nice thing about the way the degree is laid out is that it allows you to choose and specialize with the subjects. And I found that as I went from year to year, I found new avenues and new interests. And I didn't know I was going to end up being an astrochemist, but the path sort of led me this way because of the things I was interested in and followed throughout my degree. I did a project in my final year. It was quite a cool project, actually. It was using ultrasound, using sound waves to levitate particles. And I thought I would love to do this forever. And as it happened, my supervisor, who supervised this 4th-year project, thought to take this further and make it into a PhD project. So I went on to do a PhD with him, and I was lucky enough to carry on with this ultrasonic trap, it was called, but it was more sort of for atmospheric purposes. But somehow we managed to turn it into astrochemistry. I was very, very proud about getting my PhD. That was a big, big achievement. It meant that beyond that I could go anywhere. It felt like I could go anywhere, and it was natural for me to carry on in research, because doing a PhD made me realize that I was doing a little tiny piece of science that was unique and personal to me, and that I was becoming an expert at, and it seemed natural to progress from there. I did stop science for a while and became a mum. I wouldn't say it was a setback in my career, because it was a choice that I made, and it was time for my husband and I to start a family, and so I had to put my career on hold at that time. That was the choice that we made, because I wanted to give all my time to the kids. I was aware that I could come back if I wanted to, and I had a 7-year break, and I had 3 kids. There were times, I have to be honest, during that time where I thought, I couldn't possibly come back now. But as time went on, and as I could see my kids getting older and they started doing their own things, it made me think about what my own thing I wanted to do or carry on with, and I came back into it. I was quite desperate to come back into science again, partly to get away from the kids and and get my sanity back, but also it's because I also felt that I invested a fair bit of time. I was always interested in science. I went on to do a degree in science and a PhD, and then it seemed a shame to throw it all away and sit at home and bake cakes or whatever. So I very actively pursued my return to a research career, which was made possible with the Daphne Jackson Fellowship, which is a lovely scheme that allows people to return to research after a long career break and come back into a research environment and be retrained. You get assigned a mentor. And although at first I felt a bit like, I don't know whether I'm a student or who am I. I was obviously older in years, but I felt like a student. But it was nice. I think that was a nice part of it as well.